You gonna be able to talk? Hey, we're live. There's no intro.
Welcome into We Talk Ball. I'm your host, Chris. That is your co-host, Austin. There was an intro. I seen it.
Really?
You didn't see it? Yeah, you didn't see it?
I saw no intro.
Yeah, it said it. They said it was playing.
I was watching you.
It was playing while you were talking.
My bad. I was watching you.
Yeah, and if you ask Texas Tech fans, I'm Humpty Dumpty, and that's bitch tits.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Man, we got our butts into some shit this week.
Yeah, we did. I never knew there were so many Texas Tech fans. I truly think that we've talked to every one of them this week.
They had quite a few things to say to us. And I think my favorite one was the dude calling me Humpty Dumpty. I've been called a lot of things in my life. Humpty Dumpty one kind of, I ain't gonna lie. The Humpty Dumpty one, I was like, that got me. I was like, all right. I never thought, I never saw the resemblance, but.
I mean, it's funny though. He couldn't even see your egg-shaped head with your hat on.
Yeah, that was the thing that got me.
Yeah, like how do you know?
Somebody told me, I was telling a customer that today, and they were like, did you have your hat off? I said, no, I would never. Because if I had my hat off, I could see it. But he didn't see my hat off.
No.
So that was kind of, but the bitch tits got me.
The bitch tits got me.
The bitch tits was awesome. I ain't gonna lie. I hearted that comment.
I have a medical condition that causes that, okay? It's called fat ass.
I do think Austin, I think we owe Texas Tech fans an apology though. I really do. I think we do. I think me and you both owe them an apology. And what I want to apologize for is absolutely nothing. Apologize for what? Like, what am I apologizing for? Like, I'm not apologizing for what? Saying the truth? The most common thing that we got this week from Texas Tech fans was one. I'll go through a couple of them. One of them was like Texas Tech was never going to play him. There's a lot of things in this sports world that we'll talk about that we can like just say, hey, we agree to disagree. This is not one of those things. This is one of those rare times where I say, if you truly, truly thought that Texas Tech was not going to play Sorsby after his 2-game suspension, like if you really in your heart said, you know what, I believe Joey McGuire when he said, well, we don't even know if he'll be back the 3rd game. It depends on this, and this. Like, if you really believed that, you are an idiot. Yeah. You should not be allowed to operate a motor vehicle. Honestly, like you really shouldn't. You should not be allowed to have a driver's license if you legit thought they were not going to play. Seriously, come on, guys. Another common thing we got was, oh, well, Texas Tech ruled him ineligible. They ruled him ineligible so that he could sue. He couldn't sue unless he was ruled ineligible. It was just a formality. They didn't do it because they did it so it could help with his lawsuit. Another comment was like, oh, well, what was it? Sorsby. This was Sorsby and his attorney. Okay, fair. Texas Tech didn't have nothing to do with the lawsuit. I have a hard time believing that they wasn't okay with it. And like I said from the beginning of this whole fiasco is Texas Tech could have done all the supporting and all the taking care of this kid and still said, "Hey, man, we
You
got
can't.
you.
You can't play.
Yeah, you can't play. Like we're going to take care of you, but you can't play." And another comment, and then I'll hand it off to you, was the Georgia arrest. Listen, and they can believe me if they don't want to believe me. I don't care. I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep. I'm going to go to sleep tonight and sleep very peacefully. I do, if this was Florida, if this was Auburn, if this was Alabama, if this was LSU, if this was name whatever team, I'd have done the same thing. I'd have done the same thing. I'm on this very channel. I'm not going to do the research for you. You lazy bums can go look it up your dang self and go look at our past videos. I've called Georgia. I think it's embarrassing what Georgia, the all the driving infractions. I think it's flat embarrassing. I do think Kirby needs to do more. So, and they're not going to believe me. They're going to, say I'm only doing this because of Texas Tech. No, I actually like Texas Tech. Still kind of like them. Maybe not their fans. What do you think, bitch?
Man, I was gonna say something very smart ass tonight, very condescending, and at the end of the day, man, I'm over it. I know we talked about this earlier. I'm not gonna say what I said I was gonna say on the show. I'm just not because I'm scared. I just ain't worth it. But I will say this, and then we'll move on. Anybody who knows anything, we're going to use X or Twitter, whatever you call it these days, as an example. But once you start seeing one thing about a certain subject and you look at this and look at that, your algorithm's going to show you everything about that subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks to all of our comments, I got into Texas Tech Twitter for the entire week. And I still go back to what I said last week. Yes, we got destroyed by Texas Tech fans. But I have not seen a single person outside of Texas Tech's fan base that has said anything different than we said.
Yeah. No.
It's like I said last week. This is the first time in a long time that there's been something happened that all of college football came together, one voice, and said, "Nah, that ain't right."
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And it just goes to show what happens when you do speak up with one voice, because look what happens. Something actually got done about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But me and Austin talked about this on the phone. This is going to be, I promise you, the last time we are going to discuss this. We are not going to bring up the Sorsby unless something God knows. I mean, he's now potentially suing the NFL. He may sue Texas Tech now, and he may sue. It'll be funny, though. I'm going to end it on this. Because I wouldn't put it past the kid, because he don't want any consequences to his actions. So I wouldn't put it past him. I don't think he'll do this, but who knows? He's fixing to try to sue the NFL, from what I understand. So it wouldn't surprise me if he sued Texas Tech for something. You watch how these same fans that called us Humpty Dumpty and bitch tits
on him.
They're turning on him so damn quick. They're turning on him so damn quick. But yeah. Anyway, all right.
Can we place bets on his trial?
He may place some bets on it.
He's probably the bookie for it.
Yeah, he may play some bets on it. Our guy Jamal, man. Next segment. Our guy Jamal. We should have been doing this the whole time. We're gonna go back to the other ones he's did in the next couple of shows also. ESPN said Sorsby is suing College Sports Crew.
he ain't gonna get a whole lot.
He ain't gonna get a lot, I can tell you that. Our guy Jamal, and look at that pretty face, man. Jamal just
why'd you let our logos cutting off his orange hat though?
Yeah, that was on purpose. Because he probably wearing a Gator hat. But our guy Jamal, we should have been doing this the whole time. I told him in a text I felt bad. But the last 4 weeks, I would say, last 3, I think today he did peak 10. He's been ranking the top 5 games, which is on a genius ideal. Wish we would have thought about it. And that's on Wednesdays, usually on Wednesdays. Athletes More Podcast, College Sports Crew. Go give it a sub. Check it out. Just did a Big 10 one today. So check that out. We'll also discuss that. We'll eventually go back and discuss his ACC and Big 12. some point before the season starts. We should have been doing this the whole time, cross platforming thing. So definitely go check out his show, and he goes in more in depth on these games. We're not going to do that. We're just going to look at his list and talk about what we agree and disagree with. Number 5, Austin. I don't understand why he put a cupcake game in this graphic and in this ranking. I thought we only picking 5. There's so many good ones, and when I seen that one, I was like, man, to put. I guess he's paying homage to the cupcakes and the Florida Gators.
Well, we said we can't talk about that anymore. I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna be like Brendan Sorsby and put probably $9,000 bets on this game, because I've called this from day one.
Ford has 2 dads.
Hey, you'll always be the stepdad, Jamal, but that's all right. We were there first, baby. I think I've said it, and the reason I love, look, anybody who knows us knows I love nothing more than talking shit to my best friend, and especially when it comes to Georgia football. But I truly think that John Summerall knows his first step to winning at Florida is to beat Georgia.
Yeah, all joking aside, I'm really looking forward to this game.
Like, all joking aside, that is the reason that I feel Florida may win this game. I've said I think Georgia's gettable this year. Look, It's Kirby Smart. They may go win a national championship, and I'll sit here next year and I'll take that. But I truly think Summerall knows his first step into Florida is to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
And he will focus. He may overlook some games to get to this one.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he could win this game, he'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think if he goes 4-8 next year and he beats Georgia, he's happy.
Honestly, they may. If you put Truth Serum and Gator fans, I think they would just be tickled to death with beating Georgia's. They would be tickled to death. But and all joking aside, I took that shot earlier. People watching, I hope they don't take me too seriously. We're joking amongst each other. Our guy Jamal is a big Gator fan. We always talk shit, text messages and on our shows to each other. I'm actually genuinely excited about Georgia, Florida. I don't like that he put Florida, Georgia. It's not Florida, Georgia. It is Georgia versus Florida. But anyway, Georgia fans hate me when I say this. I want Florida to be good again because I want Georgia, Florida to have meaning. I want Georgia, Florida talked about in a way that the Iron Bowls talked about, the game, Ohio State, Michigan. Georgia, Florida is not exciting nationally. It's mainly just Georgia, Florida fans that get hyped about it. And it used to be, but now, after a while, I think, when they were beating our butts for like a decade plus, it wasn't exciting. And then now that we're doing it, so I would love some balance as a college football fan, not as a Georgia fan, as a college football fan. Despite what Texas Tech fans say, we don't have bias. I would love this rivalry to generally have good games, back and forth every year, and just be nationally relevant in the rivalry discussions.
Question for you and Jamal. I'm trying to think back. Obviously, Florida in the late 2000s, early 2010s was great. Mm-hmm. Has Georgia, Florida ever been really good football teams at the same time? Because it kind of felt like when Georgia went down, Florida came up. When Florida went down, Georgia started coming up.
Yeah, it's never been a lot of really good games
in our lifetime. Let me say that. Yeah. There could be some stuff. Somebody's gonna come back and go, in 1947. I'm talking in our lifetime. Yeah. Look, there's always been gonna be great games and rivalry games. The schedule doesn't matter. But I'm just trying to remember a year when
it's been a while.
Has there ever been like a top 5 matchup in Jacksonville?
It's been a while. Jamal would have to answer. I can't remember.
I can't think of it either. That's why I'm asking. I don't remember a time.
Yeah. Speaking of cupcake games, Alabama versus Georgia, and Georgia's the cupcake. I'm not taking a shot. I would not do that. Uh, Jamal did answer. I think it's a great question. I think it's been a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what it comes to eventually. But yeah, Alabama versus Georgia. I've said it before. I'm done getting hyped about that game. Until maybe after the SEC championship, I'll be curious to see how Georgia fans react when we face Alabama this year with the SEC championship game, the last game that was played against these two, and how that outcome played, how their mentality will go into this game. Because before the SEC championship game, after Bama beat Georgia in Athens, the general mindset of Georgia fans going forward was of defeat. Like it was like, okay, this is just Kirby didn't have a Nick Saban problem; he had an Alabama problem. And Alabama's just boogeyman. I think, honestly, before the SEC championship game, and they may not agree with it, but I know they did because I was on the message boards and on Twitter. It felt like they just accepted the fact that, hey, it is what it is. Bama's just going to beat us. Maybe like Texas fans, except when Daddy Kirby comes to their stadium. But that's how. So I'll be curious going to this year. What is that after the SEC championship game? Did it like give us a boost of like, oh, all right, no, we're back. They're not beating us this time.
Yeah. No, I do think it flipped the narrative, and it's now Jamal just letting the state of Texas know that he's had no part of this conversation. He's just in the comments.
Yeah.
But I do think what that game flipped was it did get rid of the narrative, and now we can get back to just playing football.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah, we joke about it, but I do think for a minute Alabama was in Georgia's head. And what made me believe that was how our games have started.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Georgia came out just different. And then they've all ended up being great games at the end because, eventually reality sets in. So I do think that I think this game will come down to who, like I said, narrative's gone. Who's the better football team now?
I wanted to talk. I'm gonna let you have the floor. I don't have much to say on this one. We text when I sent you this list earlier today, so you could look at it and get your thoughts together. And I hadn't told Jamal because I wanted Jamal to watch this live and hear it. You had a problem with number 2. So
you skipped number 4. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to go game by game.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but you had a problem with number 2.
Look. I just don't know that Texas A&M, and this may end up being the best game on this list. Who knows? But my preseason prediction, as good as I think Texas will be, and as down as A&M I think is going to be this year, I do think there's a couple other games that could have slid into that spot. And like I said, I sit here saying this, and Jamal's probably going clip that so he can go back and watch this after that game takes place this season, so he can let me know how great it was. But yeah, I just think I think there's going to be a talent issue there. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but Texas has to be great. Like they just have so much talent, and I just don't trust Marcel Reed to. I don't know how late in the season. How late in the season is that game this year?
I know I cut off weeks, but that is the last game of the year.
Okay, it is again. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I mean, I think.
Your problem was you didn't think it should be on the list. So who would you have thought that should have been his number 2 or on the list?
Well, you had a game and I had a game.
I did have a game.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He done forgot. You thought the Red River rivalry should have been on the game, on the list.
Yeah. Yes. I did.
You thought Texas Oklahoma would have been it.
Yeah, and I thought that should have been on there.
The game that I think should have been on there is Oklahoma going to Athens to play Georgia this year.
Honestly, I think that one should have been on there more than what I said.
Yeah, dude, I'm hyped for that game, and honestly hope the stadium burns down with those two fan bases. But no, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I love all my Georgia family. Anyhow, I do have to say that's a joke. I'm gonna tell a funny story, not to sidetrack us, but when my daughter was 4 years old, she's 14 now. I was taking her to her first Bama game, and we had been teaching her about football, so she, kind of knew a little bit. And her daddy liked to talk trash, especially 10 years ago. And we had taught her that we didn't like Georgia fans or Georgia football, and we didn't like Auburn. Well, me and her in the grocery store the week before we're going to the game. It was just me and her. She was sitting in the buggy. Tell you how small she was. And the guy in front of us had an Auburn hat on. And in the middle of the grocery store, my daughter goes, "We don't like him, do we, Daddy?" And just yells it at his face. Man, I remember to this day I could have crawled under that buggy. Anyhow, I told that story earlier today, and it made me laugh. So I was like, I got to bring that up on the show. So to say that, I got on to my daughter and taught her that we just hate their football team. We don't actually hate the people.
Yeah.
So we only hate Texas Tech fans.
No,
but but anyhow, no, I think I think that Oklahoma Georgia game is just going to be, honestly, in the regular season, I would rather see Oklahoma Georgia than Texas Georgia.
Yeah, I'm super. When you said that this morning, I didn't even think about the Oklahoma Georgia game. I actually forgot that Georgia played Oklahoma. I had to go look at the schedule to see where it was at.
Yeah, and especially if Oklahoma's as good as you have them predicted to be.
Yeah.
If they're that good, then Georgia better be careful.
Yeah, very careful. Yeah, but I mean, overall, I like this list. Jamal's done a phenomenal job. I don't have a problem with any of them really. If we're nitpicking, I do think Oklahoma Georgia should be in there. I would have took out. You know what? Actually, I would have left Texas A&M, because that is, as somebody that was born in the state of Texas, and go there every summer, and all my family is Aggies or Longhorns. I'm that rivalry is special to me. I love that game. It is my favorite rivalry over everything. If I'm talking about, if you're just asking me as a college football fan, not as a Georgia fan, what is your favorite rivalry? People would be shocked. Probably Texas A&M is my favorite, because I'm from Texas. I love that state.
I remember. Yeah. I believe this matchup right here is where your evil side went towards expansion.
Yeah.
And realignment is what I should say.
Mm-hmm.
When this rivalry went dead because of realignment, was your turning point of this is wrong.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. This game never should have stopped playing. And everybody that was responsible for it not playing, I feel like we're getting too comfortable. We may end up getting canceled. But everybody that was involved in canceling that rivalry can go to hell. Damn shame. Should have never went away. Anyway, all right. Let's main topic. Let's get into our win totals. I got a big first one. I think I tried on this show to make sure that I didn't, re-talk about teams that I feel like there's a couple of teams that we just talk about every single week. So you're probably not going to hear a lot of the big dogs on this. I think I really went and got. You may hear one or two, but I want to start with my first win total, Austin. I am going Kentucky over 4.5. Me and Jamal's talked about this. They do have a brutal schedule. Look, they got Bama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, LSU. Could probably chalk them up as 5 losses there, maybe. But I honestly think Kentucky's going to get somebody this year. I don't know who that is, but I think they can get somebody. I think that Will Stein, if you paid attention to the show, I have been a massive fan of his since the day, he was at UTSA. And let me say something else. I was listening to a podcast, dude, and somebody was talking about Kentucky football, talking about Will Stein, and they asked the question was like, how is he going to handle going from Oregon, well-resourced school to Kentucky, less resourced, and like how does he do that? And I'm like, do y'all when people get on these national podcasts, I'm almost like, do you watch college football? Because this dude come from the mud. Like he was a high school coach. He went to UTSA. He worked in the group of 6. He knows what to do with underfunded programs. He's worked there. And then he worked his way up into a more funded one in Oregon. So I'm a big fan of Will Stein. This may be my Will Stein bias, but I do think they're going to get somebody, man. I really do. Because look, they're going to be underdog in these games I'm fixing to name, but let's just assume they lose 5 games. Let's go ahead and say they're going to lose to Bama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, LSU. That would be what? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 losses there. Oh, no, 5 because Texas and Texas A&M. So that's 5 losses there. You got your 2 guaranteed wins in Youngstown State and South Alabama. I'm pretty sure they're going to win those. They're going to be underdog in the ones I'm fixing to name right here, but South Carolina, Vandy, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, Louisville. I mean, I could see him beating South Carolina and Vandy.
Hot take. I don't think they're underdogs coming into Vandy.
That's fair. I wish I had time to pull up the schedules and all that like I was going to.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I have it right here in front of me. So
when do they play Vandy?
I asked my best friend if he was going to have that, and he said yes, I will. And so I did not prepare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Week 8.
Yeah, I think they'll be favorites by then.
At Kentucky. Already named a night game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. Yeah.
So if they beat South Carolina Vandy, which I think they can do, that gets them to 4 wins if you took the 2 cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
That gets them to 4 wins. And then they just got to beat one of Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, Louisville. And I think they can beat Missouri.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Hell, what am I talking about? I'm scared being Will Stein's first real test at home in week 2. Like, don't say it. Let me say it because I'm a Bama fan, and if you say it, then I'm gonna get offended. Just let me be scared and let me say it, okay? No, like I don't even know what this means, but I'm on ESPN, and for some reason there's a star by Alabama's name on that game. I don't even know why. But it scares me. I feel like it's a setup. Oh, it's just because they're my favorite team. That's why. But I'm gonna have to go unfavorite them because I don't like that star being right there. But anyhow,
upset of the week.
Yeah, I mean, listen, because kind of like no, Kentucky and Bama aren't rivalries, but Will Stein knows if he could come in and win a game like that to kickstart his career. I mean, that could be huge.
Yeah, it'd be massive.
It could be. So,
and he's recruiting at a level that, again, not signing day, could change, but he is recruiting at a level that Kentucky hasn't seen, even in the Mark Stoops era. And Mark Stoops got him some dudes, but he didn't recruit like what Will Stein's doing right now. I've seen 4 or 5, not 5, but I've seen a lot of 4-stars commit to Kentucky. I think they got one right before we went live. A kid that Georgia was after. But yeah, another over I'm taking that I know is going to surprise you. Now I didn't get you with Kentucky. I'm going to take Colorado over 4.5 wins.
Wow.
I do think the Deion era is coming to an end at some point. It's coming. At some point, it's coming. I don't think this team's going to the playoffs or winning the Big 12 or being in the Big 12 contention. I don't know that I even think they're going to go to the bowl game. I just need to get to 5 wins. I dug into Colorado today prepping for this show, and I think they're a little underrated. I really do. I think they're underrated. I've looked at some models that do project them to go like 3-9, so I may end up just looking stupid. But I really do think this team is underrated. The wide receiving core, I did not realize how well they did in the portal there, getting that Danny kid from San Jose State with over 1,000 yards receiving. They got another guy from Miami of Ohio that had almost 1,000 yards, and they got DeAndre Moore from Texas. That's a legit wide receiving core. And then you got Julian Lewis, which kind of down on that kid, but I'm more up on him with the new AC they hire. I'm not a big fan of this guy personally, but I do think he's a really good OC. That dang, I can't now his name's skipping me. But he was the go-go offense. The go-go offense. I love the go-go offense. And so the defense, very scared about the defense. But looking at their schedule, I know you pulled it up. Georgia Tech, Weber State, Northwestern, Baylor, Texas Tech, Utah, Oklahoma State, K-State, Arizona State, Houston, Cincy, UCF. So I need to get 5 out of that.
5. I'm going to go. Let's just look at their possible wins. Let's check. Yeah. Check. Tech, Weber. I'll say Northwestern. I mean, there's other possible ones.
I don't know that. Now that I'm looking at the schedule, I'm like, whew. I think it's going to happen. They're going to get
Cincinnati, UCF, and then that gets them there. Then they just have to get one more person. I mean, I think we'll know a lot because when they play Georgia Tech, because I think Georgia Tech is going to be hella beatable. So we'll see how good they are. Quick.
Yeah.
Thursday night is that week 0? No, that's Thursday night week 1, I think.
Probably. Let's see. Jamal says outside of the Big Ten, Northwestern is going to surprise some teams. I promise you. I almost thought about them today too because I don't think people remember because this dude is weird and he just takes weird jobs other than the Ohio State one. Chip Kelly is the OC there, and I still cannot give up on Aiden Childs at quarterback, who's the new quarterback there. He was at Michigan State and at Oregon State. I, for some reason, just cannot give up on that kid. I just can't. I think they'll be more creative on offense, which is what they lack. Yeah, Northwestern has been so bad on offense. But, yeah, Northwestern's sneaky. I almost put them on the list. Another team I'm going to go over on, we have talked about this team quite a bit this offseason, but when I seen the line, I was just like, this is absolutely wild. Ole Miss over 7.5. This may be something Vegas knows that I don't, because I just don't understand it. I understand it. I would understand a lot more if Chambliss didn't get his injunction, if Chambliss went to Lane Kiffin and went off to LSU with him, if Lacey went off to LSU with him. I get there's massive question marks at the wide receiver position, losing Harrison, losing Deshaun, Dequan White, Caden Lee. They lost a lot in that wide receiver core. As I've said on this show 1,000 times, I absolutely love their OC hire. East Carolina runs a very similar system, worked under Lane Kiffin. No, he's not Lane Kiffin. But as much as I like Lane Kiffin, I want to remind people he's not the only good play caller in college football. There's plenty of other good ones. And this guy's a really good one. I thought he did really good work at East Carolina. So I'm super high on this team, but I seem to be the only one. I got on Twitter today. I seen somebody commented that they think Ole Miss was going to be a 8-win team. I was on TikTok earlier today. Somebody talked about that being one of their disappointing teams this year. So I don't know. I'm missing something. I just do not know what I'm missing.
Look, I do think people expect a drop off. I get Chambliss is great. I love Chambliss. Let's count these up.
Okay.
Charlotte, count these for me. Charlotte.
Okay. 1.
Florida.
2.
Wait,
am I counting up wins?
Just count what I'm telling you. Scratch Florida. Keep it at 1.
Okay.
Vanderbilt.
2.
Missouri.
3.
Auburn.
4.
Wofford.
5.
Mississippi State.
6.
All right. So that means they've got to find 2 wins to go over. 2 wins out of Louisville, LSU, Florida, Texas, Georgia, and Oklahoma.
Louisville and Florida. I'd give them that.
Okay.
And I'm high on Florida.
Yeah.
I'm very high on Florida. Well, I could be wrong. I don't like it when I'm the only when I'm the. It's me and Ole Miss fans that are literally the only ones shouting how ridiculous this is. So
no,
that makes me uneasy.
with Lane Kiffin there, Ole Miss has still been a 9 to 10 game team. 9 to 10 game wins per year with Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not see them taking at least a 2-game step backwards?
I
Even with
do.
him.
After this is. I guess this is just me being way too high on Chambliss. I do think they're going to take a massive step back after Chambliss leaves.
Yeah.
I may be wrong. Maybe a year after, Chambliss was a shocker last year. Nobody could prepare for him because nobody knew who the hell he was.
Right.
Coaches didn't go back and watch his, he wasn't even supposed to be the starter. So maybe now that there's film on him, maybe I'm just kind of the Sugar Bowl is kind of just, living in my head rent free when he was Johnny Manziel and Houdini and that shit. And maybe that is, but yeah, I do think Ole Miss as a program will take a step backward after Chambliss leaves. But I think Chambliss is a top 3 quarterback in college football. So I'm just, it's him really. It's really him. And so no, I don't think they're going to take that step back as long as he was quarterback. If he was not quarterback this year, I would have took the under.
Who's the top quarterback in football right now?
CJ Carr. That's who I think.
Who's second?
Arch.
Okay. I guess that was gonna be my point, was how many losses did he have last year at Texas?
Fair, but I don't think he was second best quarterback last year though.
I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, okay?
Well, I don't think Arch was the second best quarterback last year.
Hell, he probably was by the end of the year.
If we took only that half of the year, yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing devil's advocate, and I sound like I'm an Ole Miss hater right now, and I'm not. I love Chambliss. I love Ole Miss. I have some hatred towards their coach only because he screwed Bama's defense up for a couple of years. It felt like our defense fell off when he was there. That's the only reason I have any hatred towards him. I don't know how he's going to be as a head coach, honestly. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I can see why the line is 7.5 right now because sorry, my daughter was yelling goodnight to me. I let him stay up to play while I was doing the show. So, but I can see why they're expecting a 2-game step back.
Yeah.
I think if Lane Kiffin was there, the line would be set at 9.5.
Yeah. Fair.
So, I think it's fair, but I also think you could be dead. You could be right, but you could be wrong too.
Yeah. This next over is I think also going to shock you, and it's my last over before I get into the unders. This is a team we declared that we were done with. They're dead to us, and I'm going over Kansas State 7.5. I can't quit them, Austin. They're like that crazy girlfriend we had in high school that we just, it was good, but they were crazy, and we just couldn't give it up. We enjoyed the abuse because there was benefits to that. But I'm taking Kansas State over 7.5. I really like the pairing of Colin Klein and Avery Johnson. And I know we need to give up on Avery Johnson. We've hyped that kid up every year. Me and you, this show, this channel. At our previous channel, we did it. We were massive K-State guys. I went back and looked. I really love their skill positions. I do worry about the defense. It's really heavy portal. A lot of losses on the defense. 5 of the Wildcats' 6 losses were within 1 score. This team could have just been really unlucky because I don't think the coach they had last year was a bad coach by any stretch. That was a national championship winning coach in the FCS level, a phenomenal just developer of talent. And I think they're going to get over 7.5, man. I think Colin Klein does a really good job with mobile quarterbacks. He understands Kansas State. And I just think last year was just there was some bad stuff going on. And I think they just got unlucky in a lot of games. And I think the ball's going to bounce in their way.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule.
I think that's fair. I'm looking at the schedule.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
It's not. Every there's not one game that you're like, that's an ass whooping.
I think they avoid don't they avoid the top people in the Big 12? They don't play Texas Tech, right?
I don't know. I'd put that. I don't know that I'd consider that a top person in the Big 12, but sure. Yeah. No. I mean. Yeah. I mean. I think to get to 8, they're gonna have to beat Oklahoma State.
Oh lordy. Oh lordy.
How come you didn't want to put them in your over?
No, I've talked about them enough.
What's their line set at?
I think it's 5.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 5.5.
This is the first one that I truly, I'm not even going to play devil's advocate. Kansas State has a legitimate shot.
Jamal asked, will Klein get more out of Avery than he did Marcel Reed? See, I actually thought he improved Marcel Reed last year.
I was going to say, Marcel Reed went 10-2 last year. Now,
well,
a lot of that had to do with the schedule, sure. But
yeah, but also Marcel Reed has problems, accuracy problems and stuff like that. And I do think towards the tail end of the season, I don't think Klein did a good job with Reed at all. I thought some of the play calling was questionable at best. I remember watching the Texas game, the Miami game, and just thinking like, man, that dude just something just don't seem right with the play calling. But I thought Marcel Reed overall improved that second year.
Be curious when he got that phone call.
Yeah, that he was going back home.
That he was coming back.
I also think it's not really much about him as a quarterback developer. It's that he does. I think he does a really good thing with mobile quarterbacks because he was a mobile quarterback himself, and I think he's really designed an offense to get the most out of a running quarterback. I would never label Colin Klein as a quarterback guru. I don't think he's that. But I do think he gets a lot out of the mobile quarterbacks. I think that was my last over. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my last over. All right, let's piss some people off because that's what we love doing here. My first under is going to shock the shit out of you. Now, this one.
Texas Tech.
No. Trust me, I wanted to.
We said we weren't going to say. We said we were done with it. Sorry.
We're petty people.
I
we're
will
never
say
be done with
they have done a good job. They've lived rent free in my head this week. And
no.
I've had some very, very petty thoughts, and I will admit that. I can admit my faults.
No, let's just admit what we are. Me and you are very petty people, and we'll never get over this. And we will be taking pot shots all year. Let's just be honest with ourselves. I'm not going to be able to stop myself, and you ain't either. Because you've thought the same thing I've thought. The minute they lose that first game,
it's gonna be
that recap show on Sunday. It's gonna be glorious.
I thought about placing a bet on every one of their games and just posting it.
But all right, I'm gonna go under on a team that you're gonna be just absolutely shocked about because of how I've talked about this team. I'm changing course on them though. I'm going under 8.5 on Michigan. Look, man, Oklahoma, Indiana, at Oregon, at Ohio State. That doesn't even include the landmines in Penn State and at Iowa. Or the trap game with UCLA scheduled between at Oregon and at Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's going to do really well. I had Michigan ranked really high in my post-spring. I had them bumped down a little bit in my pre-spring. Or no, my post-spring and my pre I had that backwards. But I think I'm going to have them even further down in our fall rankings. I I'm starting to get a little colder and colder on Michigan going forward because I don't like what I'm hearing about Bryce Underwood. I thought, did you see that comments from the former Utah safety that was at practice that played under Kyle Whittingham? God, I'm a bad host. I was supposed to have those quotes ready and I didn't have them. Eric Waddle, I think that was his name. Big time NFL legend, all pro safety, played under Kyle at Utah. And he was at Michigan for a spring practice. And Eric Waddle, or Eric Weddle. I just gave more ammo to Texas Tech fans who called me the R word. I can't say that.
No.
I cannot say that on here. But I just gave Tex, our producer in the back's laughing. For all the people who say we're not that big, we have a producer. Shut
it. Anyhow.
I can't even say his name. I can't remember. But that guy.
Yeah.
He played in the NFL. Anyway, he was at spring practice because his son's a recruited guy, so he was there visiting. Plus, Kyle's one of his former coach. He got on the radio or something on a podcast and just absolutely blasted Bryce Underwood as a kid that's not a good quarterback. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say not a good quarterback, but he said he thinks the backup is going to be the quarterback at some point this season. He said his accuracy was absolutely horrible. He can't throw the ball. And yeah, it was pretty it was some big time quotes. And then when he went on another show and he doubled down, he was like, no, I'm not going to take back what I said. I meant it. And if Bryce wants to use that for motivation, cool. I hope he does. And I hope he works it out. But he says, I'm telling you what I watched last season on film, and this is an all pro safety saying this. And what I observed in spring practice, it wasn't pretty. And that made me, I ain't gonna lie, that played a factor in it. And yeah. I'm kind of out on the whole Michigan thing. And this is a good time to go ahead and promote tomorrow's show for veterans show that Pops and Ian does. They're actually going to talk Michigan on the other side of things. I know I've seen Pop's show notes. I'm not going to give away anything, but he's going to discuss Michigan as a surprise team. So Michigan fans, if you hate me, if you're the new fan base that's going to call me the R word next week, please listen to more. Pops is actually going to talk really great about you. I do like Kyle Whittingham still. I do like Justin Beck still. I'm just down on them in year one. I've cooled.
Yeah, I think for me, and I won't spend a whole lot of time because well said. Man, Michigan's another one of those teams that could go either way, and I don't know. You have a great explanation as to why you think they're going to, be down. I think Pops will have a great explanation tomorrow why he thinks they're going to be better. I love Kyle Whittingham, but I don't. We've known him at Utah. That's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
And as a Bama fan, we know how important fit is to a program, and we just don't know yet. I don't. Yeah. This Michigan program has been, we talked about Kyle Whittingham was probably the best guy in the country. It feels like to hire there to kind of at least get the brand rebuilt, and get the attention off of all the craziness that's happened over the last 5-6 years. And I honestly, I think he's done that because you hadn't really heard a whole lot about Sherrone Moore and things like that. Seems to already be forgotten about. So
yeah,
I think he's already done that in a positive way, but I don't know. I think I just have to wait and see how this fits on the field.
Yeah. A team that I wanted to check last week's show, a team I wanted to sell on our buy and sell, but we ran out of time like we're kind of doing right now. And I want to get them in under 5.5 for Vandy. I hate doing this because I'm going to say something that I hate hearing other people say, but I just can't help how I feel that this 10-2 Vandy team last year was the Diego show. Diego, I cannot talk tonight. I am
Diego Pavia.
Correct tonight. I hope they're not watching. Yeah, I think it was his show, and I think I think they're gonna get knocked down back down to earth, man. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. Part of me is like, but then I can't tell if that's just my hatred because he kicked our butts. And then the things he did at our game this year, even though we revenged it. But part of me is like, was Diego Pavia that good?
I don't think it was just him. I should have said this when I was talking. They had a really experienced team.
Yeah.
A lot of older guys, a group that was together for 2 years. They had a really experienced team, and there was other great players. Stover. I can't fucking talk tonight. The tight end. These are going to be clippable. We may just take them next week because I can't talk for some damn reason. But yeah, they had an experienced team. I don't think he was the only factor, but I do think he was a big part in it. I really do.
Yeah. No, look, I think he was a great football player. I won't say great quarterback, but
yeah, no.
Anyhow, yeah, I'd be curious to see. 5.5 is an interesting line. I mean, I think if they get bowl eligible this year, I mean, then I think you start looking at Clark Lee.
Yeah. Because I can't talk tonight. It's pissing me off. Like Jamal says, the tight end said with such force. For some reason, my brain is saying the damn name and it's not coming out my damn mouth. And it's really pissing me off. I don't know if I keep thinking all the R words that Tech fan called me this week that it planted in my head. I'm an R word.
Messing with your head a little bit.
That's messing with my head, and I just want to prove them right, I guess. I don't know. I can't freaking talk tonight. It's really pissing me off. When I get off this show every freaking Thursday night, I'll text Jamal. Sometimes I lie because so he can make me feel better. But I usually text him every Thursday night that show sucked. I did a horrible job just to hear him say how good I did. But tonight, I think when I text him, he's going to tell me, yeah, bro, you sucked. That's unfortunate. It happens.
Yeah.
We sometimes just don't have.
It's one of those nights. Well, I think we're both a little off tonight. You've had a lot going on this week, and right before I came out here, found out my freaking air condition is broke in my house, and it was 81 degrees in my house when I came outside to sit on the porch. So
not a good time to have an AC unit go out.
Yeah, not at all, especially in the middle of Georgia in the middle of summer.
Yeah,
so.
I got one more under. I think you're gonna love this. You're probably gonna want this fan base to be mad at us. Jamal, good work, fellas. Hey, Austin, shout out to the best tight end in Atlanta history, aka former Gator, our guy Kyle Pitts.
Yes, sir. Finally, man, it took him long enough to do that. I'm expecting big things out of him this year.
I do like Kyle Pitts now that he's not a Gator.
No
AC. Yikes. Yes.
Yeah, you telling me.
Yeah, brutal. I think you're gonna like this under. Tennessee 7.5. I'm going under Tennessee 7.5. A couple of reasons. One, you got a potential quarterback that's a freshman. While I'm extremely high on Faison. Holy shit, I think I said his name right. Faison. I'm extremely high on him. Look, he's going to be 8. He's 18. He's a freshman. Going to have some up and downs. Jim Knowles. We've said this before. Defense is super hard and complicated. I don't think that's going to be fixed in year one. You lost all 4 starters on the D-line. I think the secondary is a complete mystery. You got transfers from Penn State, Michigan, Auburn that's coming back or that's coming into that secondary. And you're going to try to get that scheme that's extremely complicated, extremely complex, and get that all to gel with all kind of different transfers. Now, the Penn State ones help you because they do have a year in that system, but not all of them were Penn State transfers. So you got guys from different teams. I don't know, man. I mean, you got Texas, Bama, Aggies, LSU. I think those are 4 losses right there. I think there's a potential 6-6 season. I do think this is probably the one I may end up losing. Like they may hit right at 7-5. or 8-4, but I just don't feel good about them this year, man. I'm kind of down on them. Let me say this before Austin says anything. We should have said this at the top of the show. Please, for the love of God, do not take bet advice from us. This is just a show topic. We both don't gamble. We are not gambling experts. I would not advise anybody to ever take gambling advice from me or you. You can ask my wife, our producer tonight, my prize picks and how it looks. She can attest that I am a horrible gambler. So do not take our advice. This is just a fun discussion.
Yeah, if you need gambling advice, call Brendan Sorsby. But yeah, I think that's
I mean, 9,000 bets. He knows.
He ought to know something. But I think that's fair. Man, I just wonder. Like, Tennessee fans were in shambles after last season. If they go 6-6 this year, whew, they'll be ready to run Josh Heupel out of town.
I hope they're patient with him. I hope they're patient.
I do too. I think Heupel in this year is very comparable to Elko and A&M. Now, I do think Elko and A&M ceiling's a little bit higher than Heupel ceiling at Tennessee. But I do think this could be a step back year, but that's not foreshadowing what the future is going to look like.
Yeah. All right, guys. I don't know how many clips we're going to get out of this because I'm an idiot and can't talk. But we have 145 people watching us, and we really appreciate it. Big shout out to our Josie for helping us produce this and putting it out on Twitter. I think I looked at my Twitter page because I seen we had this many viewers, and she spammed the shit out of our Twitter. Definitely did her job. So got it out there. Hey guys, listen, help us out. We know Texas Tech fans ain't gonna help us. So if you're a Texas Tech fan, hey, you're not.
Actually, they helped us get a lot of interaction this week. Well,
they helped us a lot of interaction this week. Despite they act like they didn't, but they did. Trust me, we looked over the numbers, and it was a lot of help. Guys, go hit that subscribe button. 90% of you are watching, or actually 98% of you are watching on Twitter. Please go hit that subscribe button on YouTube, man. It's free. Doesn't charge you anything. We'll never charge you as long as I'm in College Sports Crew. We're not going to ever charge you. So please go subscribe. Go hit the like button. Go to our TikTok. We got a lot of following there at College Sports Crew. And then, of course, our X, you're on it. Hit the follow button on X too. We post all our clips on all those platforms. Facebook, College Sports Crew. I was supposed to tell the Instagram, and I completely forgot what our Instagram's called. Adam told us. Can you look at that while I finish this? Facebook, College Sports Crew also. We get a lot of traction on Facebook, so we're everywhere. We also just did an Instagram page. I just can't remember what the hell Adam named it. I think it's College Sports Crew, I think. Is that what it is? You ain't got there yet, old man?
At College Sports Crew, yeah.
Okay, at College Sports Crew on Instagram too. So we're on all platforms. Go give us a follow, subscribe at YouTube. And with that, we're gonna leave tomorrow night. Veterans Voice Sports Podcast with our guy Pops, Coach Pops, and Ian. They're gonna get spicy. I'm gonna be there producing, so you won't see my ugly face, but you will. I will be there helping. So, all right, guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Tell Ian I said roll tide. He'll know what you mean.
Tell who?
Tell Ian I said roll tide. He'll know what you mean.
Yeah, he will. He dang sure will. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week.